We're off in a motor car. The VW campervan, a firm favourite amongst motorhome enthusiasts, with loads of fan clubs and regular meetups all over the country. But I'm not here to talk about the VW camper. I'm talking about property investing. The media would tell you that buy-to-let is dead and that any investment in a property is a money pit and we should steer well clear. I'm Simon Evison, and in this series I'm touring the country in my VW camper to meet loads of investors and see what strategies work for them. And all will tell you that investing in property is alive and well. Yeah, Charlie. Hello, mate. I'm lost. The instructions were I don't know where I am. Have you got Rob and Shirley's number?
Simon, I'm still here, and it's just over there.
Oh, it's all right. See you later. Next stop, County Durham, to meet Rob and Shirley Harrison and take a look at their latest HMO project.
Good to see you. Thank you for letting us have a look. Should we go in? Real life build-up.
Yeah, when we spoke on the phone, you were right. It's a building site.
That certainly is,
Yes. And what you're going to do with it is really interesting. So tell me again exactly how this property is going to be, how you're going to use it, what you're going to do with it.
Well, we're going to change it from, as it is, it's a shell at the moment. We're going to change it into a 7-bed bedsit for young, vulnerable adults. Each room will have its own ensuite. And it will be managed full-time by staff.
We're working with a local charity. We've already done one project with them, so this will be our second.
And you're going to show me that later, aren't you?
Yes, you're welcome to come round and have a look at that.
So we've obviously just started. How long before it's up and running?
Well, I'm confident that we will get planning because we've already got one that's up and running and running really well. So I expect it'll be 2-3 months before we get the planning through. It'll probably take 6 months after that, 6 to 8 months I would imagine to get it up and running and finished.
In the meantime you can do lots of preliminary work obviously, so...
We've already started the ripping out, so that's the sort of stage we're at the moment.
Well, actually it was, especially that room in there, it was just full of woodworm and it was soaking wet. It was horrendous. So people did live in the conditions. It wasn't far different from this, to be honest.
A fantastic use of an HMO to help vulnerable young women. Some major works will transform this 3-floored property into a safe haven. With 6 ensuite rooms, a communal kitchen and living space, a manager's office, a requirement for this type of property, and a further communal toilet and an expansive heating and wiring system, there's plenty of work to be done.
They've come from troubled backgrounds, quite a lot of them. So we also want to help them to get into the community, get to chat to each other, and we help them. The charity bring in other people as well, social workers or whoever's needed to help them on their journey. It's a short-term AST that they will have for anything up to 2 years, 6 months to 2 years, and they help them move into somewhere else, and then we will and other people will have other flats or houses for them to move into after this. So it's like a halfway house almost.
Yeah. This property is over 130 years old and by the look of it has had many uses and identities. This new guise is a very worthwhile addition to the community. Rob and Shirley started, as many do, with buy-to-let property and then moved on to the larger properties for HMO use. I asked them what inspired them to get into this particular strategy.
We're doing things for ourselves. Obviously it's for ourselves ultimately, but when we thought, we can do HMOs, everybody's doing HMOs, why don't we, at the same time, why can't we help people in the meantime? So we decided to knock on doors, phone, emails, all the rest. It was just it's a long process of trying to find charities that will talk to you, let alone come out and look at what we've got here and get into the same vision as what we've got. Fortunately, we found one or two that were keen to work with us. It really gives us a buzz when we go into the one up there and we see these girls and boys that have, as I say, they've had troubled backgrounds and now they're you can see them progressing.
Because the charity helped them look for jobs. The charity helped them manage and run their tenancy agreements. So as and when they're ready to leave that house, then they can manage on their own, and that's the way they like to work it, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's a really good charity, and as I say, they like to work with us. They've seen what we've done, and now they said, yeah, we can. Well, actually, we went to them and said, how's it going, all the rest. We keep in touch with them, and they said, yes, we're absolutely fine. I said, right, would you like another one?
Okay. Well, let's go. We can go and see the first one.
We can. Obviously, at the moment, there are people in them, but we can look into around the communal area, and we've got one room that we've cleared somebody out.
And we'll get an idea. We'll get an idea of what this is eventually going to feel like.
You will see what this will look like. Yes.
Let's go. Let's go in
the
box. Come with me on a journey. Don't do this at home, kids. Back to your very first investment property. You remember? Well, tell us what it was, but tell us how. More importantly, how you were feeling around that time.
Well, we had been studying auctions for quite a while.
Right.
So our first property we actually bought at auction.
So I can survey houses and I can make sure that we're not buying something that's I'm going to regret at a later date.
So with having Rob's capability of doing that, we had viewed property at auction. It was all good. We had done our figures. We went to the auction, and on the night I was sitting, Rob was actually bidding, and we won that property, so we were the highest bidder on that property, so we got it. My heart was pounding, so scared, and I said to Rob, how do you feel? And he said, I feel fine. But then you tell...
when you've bought it at auction, then they take you to another room and you've got to pay for it, basically. You've got to sign your check.
Put your deposit down.
Put your deposit down, so I said, fine, it was the £3,000 what I'd been. I said, I'm fine. But I couldn't, I was shaking that much, I couldn't sign the check.
Oh, wow.
Well, actually, we bought the second one on an auction on the next night. So we bought 2 and 2 nights.
And that was really scary.
Not deterred then, you thought, right, let's do it all over again.
Yeah.
I wasn't there on the second night, although we had done the same, we had done our figures, we had got our maximum offer that we were going to bid, and when he came home and he had said he had bought another one, I was like, no, but we haven't finished the first one.
Hold on. So, Rob, you went off on your own?
I did,
Right.
I have the confidence now.
All right. No, don't you worry about a thing, darling. I'll sort this one out. This time next year we'll be millionaires.
Or skint. They were already skint. The first one was had a tenant already in, so so that was making money straight away. And the other one was a flat in Jarrow, I think.
Yeah, it was a flat in Jarrow, which needed refurbed, so new kitchen, new bathroom, carpets, and a lick of paint.
We did everything. We did what we were told not to do, and we did everything ourselves.
We done like the stripping of the wallpaper. Rob done I never seen Rob for about 2 months. He was underneath the bath.
You know what it is. You think you buy somewhere and you think, this is absolutely fine. We only need a lick of paint in this. And we took I took the bathroom out. And all the joists under the floor were rotten.
Right.
So we stripped everything
So
out.
when he says we stripped everything out, that was me and my mum. And so we stripped everything out. We stripped all the wallpaper off. We had almost got it back to painted, and Rob was still underneath the bath. I'm not quite sure whether he was awake most of them times or whether he was having a little bit of a nap. So
after all that, it was still worth it?
Oh
yeah, very much so. We actually sold the flat later on. We weren't intending to, but somebody came on and made us an offer, so it turned into a flip.
Right.
Made us some money because we thought, well, okay, we didn't have any money left, so we had to, it helped us to move on to the next project.
The first 2 properties gave them a boost both mentally and financially. They furthered their training with more courses, explored a little further afield, and then finally settled on their immediate area for investment. Okay. Now, what we're going to do now is you're going to teach me the northeast accent. Well, I think I'm pretty good, Lee.
Not bad, not bad.
And we might even have to put subtitles. But I bought myself a Kawasaki.
Kawasaki.
A Kawasaki from Nagasaki. He's a very nice chap.
Was he on the West Road?
On the West Road. That's right, I know that. So instead of carpool karaoke, it's carpool Geordie-okie. Geordie-okie, it's a thing, it'll catch on. Geordie-okie. So what are typical Geordie phrases without them being cliches? Why, of course.
When you say why, you've always got to put a man on the end.
Why, man?
So why, man.
And what does it mean? Does it mean yes? Does it mean no? Does it mean brilliant? Does it mean...
It means all sorts of things.
It means all of them.
Ah, okay.
It depends.
It depends on which context. It depends on the context and the sentence that it goes on to. It can mean, or as the same is canny. Canny can mean
lots of things.
Can mean all sorts of things.
So canny can mean very?
Yeah, like you're canny good looking.
Why, I'll buy you a pizza later on if you like.
I'd rather have a pint.
A pint and a pizza in that order. A pint and Yuki Brown.
It's not Yuki. That's it. Only people who call it Yuki is people from outside the area. It's just Broon.
It's just Broon.
It's a bottle of Broon.
It's Broon
or Broon dog.
Broon dog.
That's it. Or if you go to a pub, I just want a bottle.
Just want a bottle, and you'll get a bottle of Broon.
Gives a bottle, and you'll get brown.
Because it only comes in a bottle.
Yes.
Now, I know you're learning some really great stuff in this video. There is more to come, so keep watching. But to learn from one of our trainers in person, click the link below.
Yeah, it's just up the road here now. So you'll see a massive difference, obviously, when you come to see this one. This one's all nicely finished.
And how long has it been up and running, this one?
Last summer.
I was going to say a year and a half.
About a year and a half, something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what's the arrangement? Did the charity rent it from you?
Yes.
Yeah. We have on a 5-year lease.
So we've got a fully repaired and insured lease.
Okay.
Yeah, so
for 5 years.
Yeah, we look after the fabric of the building. Mm-hmm. Anything that goes wrong inside. Now that we've once done it up, is their concern. Now it's their problem. Now, you know.
Right.
So it seems to be working fine.
Hello.
Hi, Joan.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for coming to see.
No problem.
So this is what?
This is the
Ushaw Moor.
This is Ushaw.
Similar to the new HMO, this one has a communal living room, and with CCTV throughout the communal areas, the building manager Joan said it's an important backup should there be any kind of incident, as she described it, a third eye. Rob and Shirley's first HMO has a couple of differences. In this property, the rooms have a kitchen unit with an ensuite toilet and sink, and then there's communal shower rooms for the residents to share. To avoid individual council tax, there must be a shared kitchen or bathroom.
We've got a loo and a hand basin, but with communal showers.
Yeah.
That's basically down to the council's rules that an HMO has to have a sharing element. And because we've got the kitchens in, we made the sharing element the showers.
The new property will have a communal kitchen because they've also found it makes for a more social atmosphere and gets the residents interacting and cooperating with one another.
I think now, when we first started this project, the charity wanted individual kitchens, just so there was no arguments over cupboards and what belongs to who. But now as we're running into that second project, it's something that we've maybe had to think about, and also the charity have had to think about, is that they want to get people socialising in that area.
And although this particular room looked quite sparse and clinical, once the resident gets in there, they can personalise the room and make it their own, make it much more homely.
I mean, you saw this with the tenant in and it was lovely.
Oh, and it was
wasn't
lovely.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty
Clinical.
unloved and clinical at the moment, but when
It was the
you
girl
had the girl
she
here,
had had things hanging up there and what have you with and her own personal bits. It was actually, I came in here, I thought, this is lovely. It looks a lovely room.
Each room has an intercom to the manager's office for security and communication, and each room has an electric fuse breaker for safety. Similar to the work-in-progress property, the existing HMO was a shop and residential above. Planning permission, therefore, is required for this sort of conversion.
it's hard to see, isn't it, when you look at what we've just come from to like looking at something like this, like what it's finished. If you're not very good at visualising things, then it's hard to imagine.
But they did have a vision, and with their imagination and the help of a local architect who had done a similar conversion in the village, they've created not just a decent income stream from an HMO, but a safe home for a number of young women who would ordinarily be in less comfortable surroundings. I had one last thing on my mind before I left. You know what it reminds me of driving around here?
Yeah.
Billy Elliot.
We love to boogie.
No, Simon.
Oh, Simon, bloody idiot.
Well, after Rob and Shirley had run me out of town for my horrific dancing, I was back on the road. Next stop, Wakefield, to meet Helen and Phil Lodge and their business partner Keely Young to see their extensive commercial to residential conversion bang in the centre of town. See you next time. So, you can see there's loads more to learn about property investing, and guess what? These videos, they're all ready for you to learn even more. So click either one of these right now, and you can get some more information on how to grow your portfolio. Click the video. That one. Either one. Go on.